Legal highs and club drugs can ruin your life. Just because they're legal doesn't mean they're safe. And you could become the next statistic without even realising you're in danger. Why gamble with your life? Hester Stewart was a 21-year-old award-winning medical student. And she died after consuming a combination of alcohol and GBL given to her by a friend at an awards ceremony.
She was an amazing person. She just lit up people's lives.
She was brilliant. She was bubbly, fun.
She'd been out for an awards night and they'd had a few glasses of alcohol during the dinner.
Hester went home from that evening and took what was then a legal high called GBL. She fell asleep, fell into a coma and never woke up. And I never saw my best friend again.
This girl here was Louise Cattell, one of my best mates. She died aged 21 after drowning in a bath because she took more ketamine than her body could cope with.
She had her whole life ahead of her. She was a graduate from the London School of Fashion.
Louise was having a dinner party with some friends, then she took ketamine.
And she couldn't get to sleep. She took a bath and she died.
Freddie McConnell was an 18-year-old gifted musician who got hooked on methadone, and that eventually led him to die of an overdose from heroin.
I think we first got very worried about him when he was about 13, and he started experimenting with amyl nitrate.
I think he tried a skunk, I think he tried all sorts of things. The thing that really got him was MCAT. It's poisonous stuff, and he didn't want to eat, and he got argumentative, he got difficult, he got violent, he was nothing like the Freddie that we'd known. He just destroyed himself, and I couldn't do anything to stop it.
Legal highs and club drugs are not only killers, they can also cause you massive damage mentally and physically. Some people completely lose their minds, others lose control of their bladders and start urinating blood. Olivia started off on legal highs before she moved on to ketamine.
The reality hit quite fast. Like, I started taking K every day and got ill very quickly, basically. Started to get bladder problems like cramps and needing the loo every 5 minutes, just looked rubbish. Was just a mess, basically. I'm 23 years old and I've seen a lot of things that I should never have seen, and I've had to face death, my own mortality, on such a frequent basis, and that's changed me forever. And I think if someone was to ask me ever as well, was it worth it? Was it worth that first line? Was it worth the first smoke? Was it worth whatever? I'd say no.
The damage of legal highs might not even be your fault. Kat Hedger was 19 when her drink was spiked with GHB. She's been in a wheelchair ever since. She's paralysed from the waist down.
The scream that went through the hospital ward, because I couldn't feel my left-hand side. My whole left side was paralysed, and no one could tell you how that feels, because until you've experienced it yourself, that is terrifying. And waking up in hospital where you don't even remember how you got there, the last thing I knew, I was in the pub.
You've only got to have a look at the recent stories in the press to see how legal highs and club drugs are ruining people's lives on such a regular basis. Joe Bennett was a 17-year-old chap who died on September 27th of 2012. He was in a coma for 4 weeks after inhaling laughing gas. Alex Herriot was a 19-year-old media student who was excited about going to university. That is until he tried Benzo Fury, a legal high, at the Rock Nest Festival the summer of 2012 and died. Doug Ferguson was a 19-year-old medical student who took the legal high AMT. He died whilst he was celebrating the end of his first year at uni. Sarah Forsyth got addicted to the legal high Ivory Wave. That contains bath salts. Nice. She died 1 year after her wedding. The bodies of 17-year-old Hugo Wen and 25-year-old Daniel Lloyd were found in a pond in Canterbury in January 2012. Police investigating their deaths announced that they both had methoxetamine and alcohol in their bodies. Methoxetamine, also known as MXE, is a legal ketamine lookalike. Alex Howes was a talented 26-year-old who took the plant food containing legal high 5-MeO-Dolt in the pub with friends after a family dinner. He was killed when he walked in front of a lorry on the motorway whilst hallucinating. Chris Dyer, a young and talented Scottish fella, is another person who was addicted to GBL. He actually walked out of a first floor window thinking it was a door, fell, became a paraplegic and then spent the rest of his life in a wheelchair. That is until he died when he was 24. It could happen to anyone. You could be next. Just because it's legal doesn't mean it's safe. Why gamble with your life? No one's telling you what to do, but you've seen how club drugs and legal highs can completely ruin a person's life. Get all the facts. Check out www.whynotfindout.org.